Welcome back to World of Warcraft Expansion Locked, a series where I take on the insane challenge of locking myself into a random expansion and I can't leave until I collect and complete everything in the expansion. I started this journey in the Burning Crusade at a merely 17.85%. It will not stop until I reach a full 100% in every single expansion. If you haven't watched the last episode, a link will be down in the description for you to stay caught up. Let's get back into it. Welcome back to Expansion Locked. We are starting episode 2 at 20.71%. As we enter Zangarmarsh for the first time, we are looking to continue leveling and complete all the quest lines here so we can move on to the next zone. If you haven't checked out the last episode, make sure to check it out as I explained what Expansion Locked is and went over all the rules and goals. In the last episode, we also spun a wheel for which expansion we are going to be locking ourselves into. We spun the Burning Crusade. We also spun another 2 wheels for character creation, one for what race we're going to play, and the other for which class we are going to play. We got into Outlands and completed all the quest lines in Hellfire Peninsula, and we ended the first episode at level 25 and we're just arriving into Zangarmarsh. To start us off, I will go over a few things that will be happening in this episode and series, like what is there for us in this new zone. There are 3 dungeons, Underbog, Slave Pens, and the Steam Vault. There's 1 raid, Serpent Shrine Cavern. There's 1 battle pet which we will have to get, which is Sporling Sprout. There are 3 rares we need to get all the loot for, Martikar, Coilfang Emissary, and the Bog Lurker. There are 2 reputations we'll have to grind, the Sporgar Rep and the Cenarian Expedition. The Sporgar Rep is a little different than most reputations, as instead of using normal currency, like gold or marks for trades, they require glow caps. Glow caps are a herb-like item you can find around in Zangarmarsh, but any character can pick them up, and they are only used for the vendor and rep handeds. I will need a total of 228 glow caps for vendor items, with an additional 10 per character for the beginning quest to unlock the vendor. The vendor consists of 3 patterns, 2 are alchemy and 1 is tailoring, both professions which my main character does not have, which means I need to farm an additional 30 glow caps for 3 different characters needing this vendor. So in total, I will need roughly 260 glow caps for this vendor to be complete.
Wow!
The other rep is Cenarian Expedition. This reputation has 1 mount and 21 recipes to acquire from almost all the available professions, which means I will need a farm reputation on almost all my characters. Good thing this reputation is very easy to get, as you will get it from all the dungeons here. I already have the mount, but I'll probably buy it when I get enough gold and try to obtain each mount in this expansion just for fun. It won't be a requirement for 100%, but we can see how many amounts we can get doubles of. Each class has at least 1 armor piece they can wear. They require honor to buy, so every class will have to get at least honored as well. After the quest lines in the zone, you will achieve enough reputation for honored anyway, so that's not really an issue. Let me know in the comments below if you would like me to go more in depth for these things when I'm coming across them for the first time, like the vendors, dungeons, raids, or just like a general concept of what is needed, and I can change how I lay out these videos. The video layout will also change as we get farther into the challenge. Once I have all the quest lines done, I will be able to move on to other tasks and goals to complete. So follow me on Twitch to see all my content if that's something you are interested in and want to see more of the back end of the challenge. I think we've come to the point of the video of where I think we should learn about why we're here in Zangarmarsh.
From the scorched wastes of Hellfire Peninsula, we descend into the mist-shrouded swamps of Zangarmarsh. Towering fungi blot out the sky, and glowing waters ripple beneath their caps. Yet beneath this beauty lies danger. The marsh is drying, its lifeblood stolen by hidden forces. Outland cannot survive without its waters, and if Zangarmarsh falls to ruin, so too may the world beyond. Here we uncover the truth. The Naga, led by Lady Vashj, are draining the waters to fuel Illidan Stormrage's war machine. Their great pumps churn endlessly, bleeding the marshlands dry and threatening to unravel the delicate balance of Outland itself. We fight through Coilfang Reservoir, battling through watery strongholds, and breaking the Naga's dominion. Within Serpent Shrine Cavern, Vashj herself stands as Illidan's trusted lieutenant, using her mastery of the waters to tighten his grip on the shattered world. Her downfall is more than a victory over one of Illidan's allies. It is the liberation of the marsh and the salvation of its people. The Draenei and Broken who dwell here can once more thrive, and Outland itself is spared from further collapse. Her defeat frees the waters and delivers a heavy blow to Illidan's campaign. Without her, Illidan's control over Outland begins to weaken, though his power still looms large. The waters flow freely once more, restoring balance to the marsh and its people. When we leave Zangarmarsh, we leave behind a hard-won victory. But Outland's war is far from over.
Now in episode 1 I explained I am limiting myself to alts. I can't just make alts whenever I want to and level them. I'm adding my own personal achievements or quests in the series, where when I complete them, it unlocks a random alt possibility. In this expansion, alts are a big thing, as professions and recipes are the biggest grind to deal with in TBC. So I'll need to focus on those achievements once I complete all the quest lines. My custom achievements are as follows. Obtain Thordal the Star's Fury, which means I need to get the legendary bow from Sunwell Plateau. Obtain both Warglaives of Azeroth, which means I need to get both the main hand and the offhand legendary Warglaives from the Black Temple on any characters. Obtain an extra mount, which means I need to get a duplicate of any of these mounts that drop the White Hawkstrider, the Raven Lord, Ashes of Alar, or Fiery Warhorse. I need to finish all the raid transmogs. I need to earn the Outland Safari achievement, which means I need to capture every battle pet in the Burning Crusade. I need to earn Lore Master of Outland, which means complete all quest lines for each zone in the Burning Crusade. Now there are 3 quests to achieve that involve reputation. The first is Exalted with at least 9 reputations from the Burning Crusade, which will be done with my main character. Then Exalted with all 20 reputation, which will also be done with my main character. Then the last one will be done with 2 different characters, which is why it's considered a group quest, Exalted with the Scryers and the Aldor. As in the Burning Crusade, you cannot be exalted with the Scryers and the Aldor at the same time. You have to choose one or the other. Then we move on to max all professions on my main character. Archaeology maxes at a minimum of 375 for the Burning Crusade, as you need 375 to unlock the dig sites in the next expansion, Wrath of the Lich King. I need to reach level 80 on my main character, which also unlocks time walking on my alt characters. I cannot do time walking on any alts until I reach level 80 on my main character. And the very last one is, of course, 100% a full zone. If the quest completed has a star beside the name, it means it is for an extra unlockable class, which would mean the classes that were added after release. Monk, Death Knight, Demon Hunter, and Evoker. All the rest of the quests would give the normal class unlocked. Warrior, Priest, Mage, Warlock, Druid, Shaman, Paladin, Rogue, and not Hunter, as I started with that class. When one of these quests are completed, I will spin a wheel for the race and class to see what we unlock. There are enough quests per classes available. The only thing that is required, there are certain quest lines that require specific races. Draenei and Blood Elf, being introduced in TBC, have a lot of quest lines added specifically for them. Another one is Volpera. Weirdly, there is an item that only Volpera can get. So with these races, if I don't randomly spin them, I will need to ensure that I can still get them. If I unlock a mage, and it's the last option that is able for Draenei, it would have to be a Draenei, just so I can make sure I can still use that race. Which means that it will be very unlikely I get to use the new allied races unless there are reasons. At least for this expansion. In future expansions, I will have to make new characters if they require those. Each of these spins will be done while I'm live on Twitch and YouTube, just to show that I'm not cheating and getting the classes easiest for farming or leveling. Speaking of leveling, one aspect of leveling I'll be doing is time walking, but I am limiting myself to only being able to do time walking dungeons during the correct timeline. So I will need to await until TBC time walking to be able to do it. I can't do it on Kata or Lich King or any other week to boost my level. I can only do it on my main until I reach level 80 and unlock time walking for all my alt characters. I also need to complete Chromie time and reach level 71 before I can do time walking on my main character. Alright, I think it's time for me to stop yapping. As you can see, we are done with Zangarmarsh and now headed over to Blade's Edge Mountains. As we finish Zangarmarsh Forest, we are sitting at 20.84%, and we're heading into a completely new zone that I have never leveled in before. Now I can tell you what lies in this new zone for us, but you're probably getting tired of me talking nonstop. First, what is the reason we're going to Blade's Edge Mountains?
Leaving the wetlands of Zangarmarsh behind, we climb into the jagged spines of the Blade's Edge Mountains. Here, cruel peaks stretch like broken teeth into the sky, their valleys home to ogres, Gron, and the shattered remnants of dragonkind. It is a land of brutality, where Gruul the dragon killer rules with iron strength. To survive, and to weaken Illidan's scattered allies, We must confront him and the savage powers that dominate these peaks. The Blade's Edge is a place of constant conflict. The black dragonflight once sought to dominate these skies, but Gruul, mightiest of the Grunn, shattered their dominance, driving their kind to extinction in Outland. Now Gruul and his sons reign over the ogre clans, using raw force and intimidation to keep the mountains under their rule. For us, the task is twofold: to weaken Illidan's influence by breaking the power of his ogre allies, and to strike down Gruul himself, whose unchecked strength threatens all of Outland. The challenge is immense. Gruul's lair is a fortress, his body hardened like stone, his strength enough to crush dragons. But when we finally bring him down, it is not just one warlord defeated. It is the breaking of a tyrant's hold over the mountains and skies themselves. Gruul's death shatters the dominance of the Grunn and breaks the ogre's iron grip on the mountains. Yet his fall also leaves a void, one that other warlords may seek to claim. The jagged peaks remain perilous, but for the first time in ages, their skies are free of Gruul's shadow. As we depart Blade's Edge, we know another front in Illidan's war still awaits.
As the narrator was mentioning, there is one raid in this zone, Gruul's Lair. There are no dungeons in the zone, but there are 2 reputations to farm, Orgurla and Shatari Skyguard. The Orgurla reputation is earned by doing dailies. The vendor does not contain any recipes, so luckily I will only need to farm the reputation on my main character. Now, the Shatari Skyguard actually has its main location in Terracar Forest, but there is a small outpost located here in Blade's Edge Mountains. I will go into more detail about the rep and vendor when we get to Terracar Forest, as that is where the vendor is located. Now, both of these reputations are gained through the same daily quests. There are about 3 to 5 dailies to do depending on your reputation level, and it gives both of the reputations for each quest. So with no dungeons, 1 short raid, and only 1 set of daily quests, I don't see the zone taking too long.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
No. Wait.
Lastly, there are 3 rares located here: Hamathian, Moorcrush, and Speaker Margrom. Each of these rares, like most others in TBC, have 4 transmogs each, which means I need a total of 12 kills at least if I'm lucky. If you were paying attention to the background earlier in this video, you would see that we actually killed Speaker Margrom already today, so that's 1 of 12 done for the zone. For this character, I will be leveling by questing, not doing any dungeons until I finish Chromie time. It is my goal to have every quest done on my main character of Alliance and a main character of Horde. Now, for when I level alts, I will have to do dungeons while leveling, as there is a satchel called Satchel of Helpful Goods, which you get on any character when you queue a random dungeon. There are 4 pieces of gear I need from that, 1 of each armor tier, so I'll need to queue dungeons between level 10 to 70 on each of the armor tiers until I get the specific items I need. My hope while doing these quests is to try to kill as many rares as possible. I've already killed 1 today, and wait, here's another, Moorcrush. That makes 2 today, and that's 2 of 3 in Blade's Edge Mountains. Maybe if we're lucky we can get all 3 today. I'll have to go look for Hamathian later.
A few moments later.
Oh, number 3, Hamathian, he's up. Now that is all 3 Blade's Edge rares down, at least once today. That will help us out so much in the long run, not having to farm these rares this far up here. Now in the first episode you guys left some comments, and they were all very nice, so thank you. But I've been getting some comments on my streams about the challenge for add-ons and tips. So I was thinking about starting a side video maybe after episode 3 or 4 about some tips and tricks that I've learned while doing this challenge. I can also talk about the add-ons I use and why. Is that something you guys would like to see, or should I add it into one of these normal videos as like a talking segment? Also, if you guys have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to put them down in the comment section. I do read and try to reply to every single message. We were almost finishing up here in Blade's Edge Mountains, and it was quite cool to quest here, as I never quested here before or really done anything other than Gruul's Lair and Blade's Edge Arena in the zone, which I don't really count for me being in the zone for. But I will need to come back to each of these zones after the quests anyways to farm all the rares and patterns that drop in these zones. Boom, level 50 done, which means we only have 20 more levels to go until Chromie time is done. which means next episode we'll probably finish Chromie Time and start to steamroll through these quests, which also unlocks dungeons and raids, but we'll get into that next episode. Remember, if you want to see more of the grind side of things, come watch me live here on YouTube or Twitch and click the notification bell to get alerted every time I go live. There'll also be a link to my Discord server down in the description if you want to join the gang and see when I go live there. And with this quest hand in, we are officially done questing in Blaze Edge Mountains and move on to Netherstorm. Thank you all for watching, and we will continue our journey in the next episode.